Only people of your standard or above should be approaching you, not some bums because you yourself are a bum.
Hey, hi guys, it's Bube.
Hey, it's Miriam.
This is our first video together.
Yes.
Hopefully not the last one.
Yeah, hopefully not the last one.
But today we're just talking about like things we learned this year, because I feel like this year was just such a year to learn.
Yeah, lots of lessons always. I feel like that's just what our 20s will be.
Yeah. I think ever since I turned ever since I turned 19.
No, for me, ever since I turned, once I hit 20, life started getting real.
No, actually, I feel like that 2-0 was just like, okay, you need to like tighten up. Not tighten up, like figure out what your life is going to be about, you know, whatever that means for you. We're just going to get right into the video. We have like, let me show them. We have like a bunch of like notes and stuff, because there was a lot, and these are just subtopics, so there's like even more under them. So yeah.
First topic is friendships. What do we learn about friendships?
What do we not learn about friendships?
I came in this year with like way more friends than I'm ending it with, but at the same time, I don't feel really a change in my life. Does that make any sense?
If anything's like a positive change, it's like, yes, I have way less friends, but like I'm very happy with the friends that I have now.
The big thing I learned this year was quality over quantity. Like, I never was one to have a lot of friends, but like, I just felt like I had to hone in on the quality of my friends. Like, what am I actually benefiting from the friendships that I have in my life, and what do they add to my life? Is it more of like, are we equally yoked? Do we share?
Are you always giving and they're not giving back?
And they're not giving back. I felt like I had a lot of friendships like that, so I just had to part ways with them. And
I feel like people say quality over quantity a lot, but like I feel like people don't really understand what it means. Like they just be saying, yeah, quality over quantity, quality over quantity. But like quality is like very different per person. Like you know what the quality is for you. Like, and I feel like quality should be based on who you are. Like I know who I am, and that's my quality, and I want to find people that have like similar mindsets. I used to think like I could be friends with people who didn't share like morals and mindsets and agreed with life things and perspectives as me, but I just realized that's not possible.
Yeah, I think that's where the equally yoked comes in, because you want friends that they don't have to have similar passions as you, but be as passionate about things as you. Does that make sense?
Yes, like people really lack passion, and that's something I can't have in my friendships. Like, what do you mean you're not excited to go on a walk?
Especially,
like,
I don't know, especially at this age, I feel like this is the time where like some people are like, they're like have fun in your 20s, and then like the 30s is where like you get serious, but actually you get serious in your 20s so you can enjoy your 30s and you're not like struggling. So like if you have friends that are like, you know, they have like a kind of YOLO type way about life, and they don't care about what they're doing throughout their day, or they don't have any idea of where they're going, and they don't care. And you're more of like, I know exactly what I want to do. I know my career. I know what I want for myself. It doesn't really make sense for you to surround yourself with people like that. There's this one saying that people always have where they're like, you don't want to be the smartest person in the room or the most successful person in the room. Like, you want to surround yourself with people who you want to learn something from them. Like there's something in them that you admire. And vice versa as well. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like equally yoked, like it should be an equally beneficial relationship. Not to say that like, you know, your friends, you always should want to have something from them, but like,
you should.
In a way,
I feel like people started using that as an excuse to be having you as friends. You should be having something to benefit from all your friendships, and they should be benefiting from you as well. It's like a vice versa thing. And I'm just, quality over quantity for real. That's like, I always heard it, but this year was the year I learned it, because she said that she's never been one to have a lot of friends. I've been one to have a lot of friends. I've always been surrounding myself with like,
you go somewhere with Bube, it's like everybody
say hi. I've been that type of person that everybody like knows and everything. But it's like one day I just sat down and I was like, all these people around me, but I really don't have anybody for real. And I don't know, like it's just a horrible feeling to be like, you've been building all these friendships and investing all this time and energy, but you don't actually have anyone, you know?
I think the biggest like pill to swallow is realizing that you don't actually know your friends. You know what I'm trying to say? Like when you start
all
to
this
think
time you spent with them, but nothing.
I don't know this about you, or I don't know that about you, or vice versa. They can't name something about you. You know, I think that's when you really sit down. You're like, wait, who?
Or like when something big happens in your life, and like the people you're trying to look for who to call. And you're like, these people I thought were my friends, I actually can't tell them this, and that's like kind of insane. But yeah. Oh, you did say the thing about equally yoked.
Yeah, and I also said the need for friends for different things. Like, I think, especially in college, you gotta kind of learn how to compartmentalize your friends. Like, you may have that friend that's like education is like y'all thing, like y'all just do on y'all school stuff together, and then you may have friends that it's like you guys go out and that's like your big thing. And I don't know, specifically for college, I feel like there's a need for friends for different things, like, and that's okay. Like, I don't know if that's even really what you would say friendship, or more like.
And you don't have to call everyone your friends. Like,
that's why I said I don't know if you will say friends.
Yeah, I know that's why you were saying.
I mean, those people may not be your friends, but you know, in different spaces, you have different people for, you know.
Yes, kind of like that's kind of what the whole networking thing is about. But I think we all took the networking thing too far when we were younger. Like, just having all these friends, but like you can be like, oh, this is the person I can have fun with, and it can just be that. You don't have to like call them in the middle of the night, have 2-hour long conversations every single day, like, you know. And I think that's one of the hardest things for me, like actually knowing where to place people in my life. It's something I'm still learning, and it's going to be like a long time for me to learn it, but I'm getting aware of that like every single day. And even today I was on the call with my friends, and I was like, I have something to do. I have to record this video, I have to clean my room, I have to get ready for work, I have to do schoolwork. And I'm just like, okay, I can't be on this call for more than an hour, 30 minutes. Once they got to that mark, I started like winding down. I was like, guys, I have to go. But normal me, I would have been on that call, quiet, phone up, even though I'm not doing anything. I'm wasting my time. I can't do anything else because I'm on the call. Just little things like that.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say, like, your friends do define you, and people say that, but it's so true. Like, whenever I see people hanging out with certain people, I never think, oh, they're the different one.
Oh yeah, true. I group y'all all together. Like, I'm telling you, like, if I have, okay, this may be, if one person is like gossiping, spreading rumors, whatever, and they have a whole crowd of friends, I know, who did they gossip to? They gossip to you. You were their friend. You guys were all gossiping together. So like, yeah, definitely look at your friends and think, if people are gonna think I'm like this person, you know, like if you're like, oh no, I don't want people to think I'm like this person, that should not be your friend. Like,
I'm the same.
I do not have anybody I'm surrounding myself around that's like questionable, where you're like,
I know who's that.
Like, how does that even work? Like, I don't befriend people like that.
And you can only, like, I was talking about this in my last video about how, like, you can only see life as far as the people around you. And it's like, if the people around you have limiting beliefs, like, they're always like, I remember one time I was telling someone about how, like, I knew someone that was making $100,000 a month, and they basically were just talking about how, like, what would you even do with that kind of money? That's just a lot. And I was like, I get, like, $100,000 is a lot of money. Don't even get me wrong. But, like, the fact that they can't even see themselves making that kind of money, that's not the kind of person, like, people I want to be around. Like, I see myself making a good amount of money, and 100K, it's not a, like, big, some kind of humongous goal. Like, it's a very doable goal. You know what I mean? And it's like, when you're constantly around people that are just like, oh my God, I don't want to do that kind of money, or like, why would you even want to, like, that's fine for you. You can go find the people that agree with you, but that's not how I want to live, you know?
Yeah.
But, yeah, friendships need standards. Like, people talk about relationships need these standards, but from the beginning of your friendship, you have to set the, like, tone. Like,
too. I
think even more, actually.
Yeah. And I also feel like boundaries are so important. Like, that's a topic within itself. Like, having boundaries, setting boundaries and sticking to your boundaries.
Sticking is actually the hardest part.
Yeah, it's the hardest part. But sticking to your boundaries is how you show how much you care about yourself, like how much self-respect you have for yourself. And that shows how people are going to treat you. Like, if I have a boundary for myself, I'm like, I don't even know, like, oh no, I'm not gonna, I don't even know, something small, like I don't drink, I don't smoke, or something like that, right? And you tell everybody this, and you're like so big and proud about it, and then the moment somebody's like, you want a shot, you're like, oh yeah, like I'll take the shot. Like, that just is, you're not a person of your word. You're easily convinced. You're not sure of your beliefs. You don't stand in your beliefs. Like, boundaries are so important. That's how some people are going to treat you from then on. They're going to know, like, okay, if she says this, I know, like, after a little bit of convincing, she's going to budge. Like, I feel like that was one of my issues. Like, I would set boundaries.
Mind you, as you're speaking, I'm listening and I'm learning.
Yeah. I would have
like
boundaries for myself too. And then, like, I would go against what boundary I set. And people remember those things. Like, that's how people
even if they don't, like, consciously remember, like, subconsciously, they'll be like, oh, there's a time, like, I told her and she said she doesn't, but, like, you know.
And then she did it after a little bit of convincing. So I think it's just really important to stand on your boundaries, set boundaries, and try your hardest to stand on your boundaries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, like, I notice with friends sometimes, I was never the type of person to, like, value relationships over friendships, but, like, I was on the opposite end of over allowing my friends to do things. Like, I would just let let myself get hurt by friendships over and over, because I'm like, you know what, it's a friendship, I should give them multiple chances. But
yeah, true.
It hurts so much more.
I think you also have to realize when something is a problem that you guys can resolve and move past, and when something is just like a pattern is how they are. You know what I'm trying to say?
That part, like if it's really something that they can't change, at least in this very moment, because I don't think there's anything that anyone can change, but like if it's something that has been constant, just help yourself and let go of that relationship. Like you don't have to let go fully, but like let go to the extent where it's not affecting your life.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't know, that's one of the biggest things I've learned, probably. Like leave people where they are. It's not even like in a sense of like you're better than them or anything, but if someone, it doesn't even have to be like a thing of this, it could just be like if someone's here and you're here, leave them there and be here.
Like, I've talked about this before. Like one of my friends, I just, you know, I don't want to say cut off, but wasn't as close to this year just because we had a difference in morals. Like we just didn't see things the same way. We loved each other and stuff like that. But we just had too much disagreements where we could never come to a common ground because we just saw things two different ways, and that's okay. Like,
and a relationship would just be filled with like disagreements and you don't want that. Yeah,
always, and that's okay. You guys can be cool, but you guys don't have to be as close where you guys are always having those like bump-ins with one another.
Because also the older you get, the more you're dedicating your time to things that matter. So when you're spending time with your friends, you want the people you're spending time with to be your quality friends. Because I don't know, if you're working, you have school, you're putting time towards your goals and other stuff, you're doing your hobbies, you're going to the gym, then the time you have for your friends is like limited. You can't spend that time with people who you don't value or don't value you. I don't know, that's how I see it as well.
Yeah.
And life is better with good friends and it's horrible with bad ones. Like your friends really just define how your life is going to go.
Friends should also make your life easier. Like, I'm sorry. They should not be an extra stress in your life. Like, a social situation should not be... Like, for me, where I'm at right now, we're in school. Like, some people have jobs. Like, you have stuff going on with your family. Like, and it's specifically for me, like, I'm an only child in my household. Like, my friends are, like, my family. Like, I think of them as, like, my family. Like, I put so much into my friendships. I want to have good friendships and easygoing friendships. Like nothing in like no relationship is easy. But I'm saying like it should not be difficult
all the time. Every single time you talk to this friend, you're like, oh,
like it takes.
She's about to complain about this guy over again. Like you know, like bruh,
you're hesitating if you should pick up the call or not because you're like, I don't know.
I know he didn't text her back today. Like oh god, what are we about to talk about? She's about to. Or also not being friends with complainers. There are people that complain too much. I hate those kind of friends. Like always complaining.
Do not want a solution to their problems for real. They just want to rant, but they're making it seem like they want a solution, but they do not want a solution.
Even after you finish telling them a solution, they're just like, yeah, it's just really hard. I'm like, did you hear anything I just said about how to solve this problem? But we're gonna move on to the next subtopic, which is romantic relationships.
Yes.
What? You have to share.
This stuff is just so like, you know, like it's so like I'm still very reserved when I like talk about this type of stuff. But mine was existing outside of your partner. I don't know. When I was in high school, I had a lot of friends that were like what you just said, where they like prioritize relationships over friendships. So like I had like this one friend, and every time she would get a new boyfriend, she would like disappear like from us. Like we wouldn't see her at all, and then she would pop back up, and then be like, oh, they broke up. You know, like we would just know. Like I've had lots of friends like that, and I've always been like, I don't want to be like that. Like when I have like a partner or something like that, I want to still prioritize my friends, still make time for my friends, and have time for him on the side.
It shouldn't be like a big shift. Like oh, Miriam's in a relationship. Okay, is Miriam coming out this weekend? I don't think so. She's gonna be with her boyfriend.
Like, no,
what
you should still go out. You should still have fun. You have to still prioritize yourself. I feel like, especially, I keep saying at this age because like I'm just in my 20s. I'm just learning so much. Like we were too young. Like I'm not saying too young to have a serious relationship, but too young to like be like where our boyfriend is our whole entire thing. Like boyfriend, that's not even your husband, and that's your whole personality is this man, and you just pouring all into a man and not into yourself. Like this is time for self-discovery, for building yourself up, building a name for yourself. How can you do that?
I do agree with the being too young to be seeking out a serious relationship. If you get into one, like it is what it is. But like I'm saying, like just living your life with the expectation of, I feel like if you're not in a place where you're set, I'm not saying you have to be 100% set to be in a relationship, but there are certain things that need to be in place. Even as a girl, if you're not financially okay, you should not be in a relationship, because you should never ever feel like you need to depend on anybody, even your friend, family, whatever. You should mentally okay, physically okay.
That's a whole discussion within
So
itself. I feel like social media too is frying people's brain with this like. I love sprinkle. I love sprinkle, but some people are taking her advice and construing it a different way. Like they're literally just seeking after people for what they can get from men, money, and like that's not all that's in a relationship. Like money is not all. Like that's why it's important to have yourself together before anything else. Like really have yourself together, as in you're established, you have the things that you do, your hobbies, your job, your school, whatever it is that you're about, be about that. Let the man be. And
whenever you have your things together, you would never question your standards, because you're like, I have everything I need, I don't even need another person.
You will not even be getting approached by certain people if you present yourself a certain way.
Like, she's gonna say no.
A certain way. Yeah, they're gonna be intimidated by you, and that's a good thing. Like that's a good thing. Only people of your standard or above should be approaching you, not some bums, because you yourself are bums.
Yeah, exactly. Okay? They're like, oh, well, last time I saw, every time I text her, she's always free. She's always calling me for 6 hours a night.
Make yourself very fucking busy. Make yourself busy.
I'm not beeping that out. I don't
make yourself busy. Please make yourself busy. Do not be.
Even if you have nothing to do, give yourself something to do. Like, I don't know, go on a walk. Start making flower arrangements. I don't know, do something. Like, I don't know. There's always something to do. Like, it's never been a thing of, oh, I don't know what to do, I'm bored.
Explore your own interests as well. All these things is how you find people that really to belong with you. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Exploring your hobbies.
When you explore your own interests and you start to know yourself better, you will be able to, so when somebody approaches you, you will automatically know like, oh, this is a person I can relate to, because you know what you yourself like. So
because I know at the beginning of when I was trying to change myself, obviously for the better and just be a better person, I had this fear that I would not meet people who were in the same headspace. But the minute I started like when I started picking up books again, I would go to the library and I'd meet people that were reading, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that people my age actually read. There's people out there. You just have to be in the spaces of the things that exist, and you see the people. There's people. I was gonna say this part about you can be happy for your friend without being jealous. I feel like a lot of people see their friends in relationships, or even with social media, and you feel like you need to be in a relationship. I have a lot of friends in relationships, and I think I'm at a place where I just look at them like, oh, I'm happy that you have this person that loves you. I'm happy that you love them back. And if it's a good relationship, I'll be in full support. It's only when it's not. But right now, I don't have friends that are in stupid relationships, because I don't have friends that aren't that stupid. But yeah, you can be happy for your friends without feeling the need to be in one yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like too, I mean, I've always felt like that, just because me personally, I've never had like a boy crazy phase or anything like that. But I guess, I don't know if you would say I'm a late bloomer. I don't think I was a late bloomer. I think I came about stuff the time that it was supposed to happen. But my friends were in relationships for like ever. And never once did I ever see anything they were going through and want to be in.
Like, oh my God, I really wish.
Yes, no, like I was not seeing that and like being like, oh, I really want to. But yeah, I was happy for my friends with whatever, when something good would happen.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, this good thing's happening.
Yeah,
but I'm sorry, like the drop in the ocean was never motivational. I'm like, oh, this guy texted you good morning.
I know.
Okay, and like,
good morning, beautiful.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just, and also another thing is like romantic relationships don't matter until they do. Like I feel like the whole thing about we're young, we don't need to be in a relationship for real. And if you find someone, you do, but when they matter, you should really like know how to love that person or whatever. But I feel like you should not, it should not matter when it doesn't. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
No, that's a good way of saying it. Like I feel, and I literally was talking about this with my friend the other day. I was like, I feel like sometimes women, we romanticize stuff way too early on. Like, and men do not do that.
It's been 2 days.
Like literally,
1 hour.
It'll be something so small, like a girl will, I had this example before. You'll go to a party out somewhere and you and this guy have like this little thing for like 2 minutes. You guys have a little conversation and you will come home during the debrief with your friend and drag this, and your friends will feed into your delusion and be like, oh,
from 2 minutes to 2 hours.
Feeling you like, follow him on Instagram, Oh my gosh, you're thinking you guys gonna talk, you think you guys gonna be in a relationship, you thinking all this and this and that.
And it leads
He's
to where?
not thinking at all.
It leads to nowhere. It never goes
anywhere. And it goes nowhere, and then you're hurt. You're like, oh, but we had this moment and
Because you romanticize.
That's the greatest example of it doesn't matter until it does. Like, take it as, okay, it was a moment. It's not even worth mentioning.
Don't talk about it,
It's not worth mentioning.
I don't talk about it.
Festering in your brain.
Thank you for saying this. Another thing I've done recently is whenever I have any interactions with guys recently, I don't know if you've noticed, I don't really be coming up to talk about anything with a guy anymore, because one, I just noticed it doesn't matter. And two, like most of the times it doesn't go into anything. And even if it does, when it gets to that point, then you can be like, oh yeah, I just wanted to mention, just because you know you're my friend, I wanted to tell you like something's getting a little bit more serious. But if it's not, I'm not even saying, I used to think that was keeping things away from your friends, but talking about things makes things more serious than they are. It's not even about just like how close you are with your friends, it's about yourself. It's like, don't talk about things when it's not meant to be talked about, you know? Because so many things happen in your day. You talk about every single thing. How come relationships you feel like we need to talk, you know? I don't know. Like, you know?
That's another topic too. It's just like, I've also learned to just, everything is not meant to be shared with your friends.
Be friends with people who are not too curious about your life. I feel I feel like when I'm talking with you, like I don't feel the need to be asking you, oh, which boy are you talking to right now? You know, like life, it's not necessary.
Yeah, no matter how close you and your friends are, like I feel like there should always be boundaries too about like how much you talk about, like and what you talk about. Because
you don't have to talk about your sexual life.
Yeah, please, like. It's so distasteful because you find it distasteful when men do it, when men talk like pillow talk. Yeah. But women do the same thing.
It's like, how would you like it if your man was talking about the sex that you're having with his friends? Would you be with a guy that's talking about your sex? Like, so why would you be doing that yourself?
There's a reason why it's called intimacy. They're intimate moments. Like, it's not to be shared with other people. Like,
I used to feed into that whole, like, thing. That's another thing about social media. I used to feed into that thing about, oh, there's no TMI in friendships. It's not even about TMI. It's just about respecting that other person.
Yes, having respect for the other person that you don't share certain things. Like, everything doesn't need to be disclosed. You wouldn't like it if it was done to you. Don't do it to somebody else.
It's literally that simple.
Yeah.
There's so much. Some of these videos could be, like, a whole video in themselves. But we're trying to make this, like, really quick.